Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and welcome back to the Alps, where we're here with Transport Fever watching an awful lot of shipping heading in one direction. And the reason they're heading in one direction is they're all about to get sold. We have closed down every route of a goods transportation nature that is currently being shipped by ship. And that's all part of progress, friends. Look at this tanker doing the business here, making it happen, putting its foot down, going, no, I shall be scrapped before you. There, Klondike number 17. Yes, so last time around we started work on this rather magnificent dock hub interchange collective, and there is a lot of work to do. We really are overtaking at a pace here. Nice bit of semi-Colonel cam there going. Oh, swing in front. Oh, Superman. Splendid. Yes, so we have two of these rather hectically scaled train stations going on, complete with depots to set more trains in motion, along with truck-based interchange facilities, which is a convoluted way of saying truck stops. And then nothing. So these connect up to nothing right now, and this is all part and parcel of redistributing the way that we set up the goods on this map. It's going to take these chaps a while before the entire armada has been sold. So this lot are all heading into here. It's like a mini invasion, but that'll keep going for a while. Now I've got trucks and trains still running right now, purely because there's some stuff that needs to be kind of cleared before we move on to the next thrilling phase, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to start out with something straightforward, and that will be the transportation of oil from here down to the hub station here, where it will be picked up by truck. It will be run across this bridge. It will be dropped off at this goods station here. It will then get on a train and it will head out all the way down to the refinery over there, which will do a bit of a switcheroo, and then come back in the opposite direction again. Oh yes, and it will be dropped off here, where it will be trucked down to the waterfront. Some will be trucked to this waterfront, some to that waterfront, and then ships will distribute it to places. There's a lot of work to do. Stick around, it's going to happen now. So why, I hear you ask, would I scrap such a clearly operational line that is generating both profits and joy, and set it on a collision course with madness? Because we're going to do that with everything. This chap filling up here, I mean, barely filling up, 180 on board, and there's a heck of a lot still waiting, another 139 waiting. Let's track this along here. This one follows a decent enough route. What's this? An Atlantic or a Pacific? Maybe it's one or the other, or neither. I couldn't honestly tell you. But if by upping the quantity that we're shipping here, this could turn what is a relatively effective line into a jolly effective line. By the time you connect the whole thing up. And the secret to this reorganization is going to be just how well I can effect a reorganization across the board, because getting it wrong won't be any good at all. This is a nice view. There we go. Look at that. Ah, that's lovely. I mean, I could spend the entire episode just watching this guy tootle along quite pleasantly. Yeah, so I mean, this whole scheme is ill-conceived, and this is no small part of that ill-conception. But we need to get it on the go. The question is, where's this chap's nearest depot, if he has one at all? Have we got a depot? We haven't. No, he's operating in a depotless environment. All right, we'll leave that running. I mean, I want to leave it running for a bit anyway so we can get all the ships out of circulation. But this should be relatively straightforward, one would hope. Let's just... If he's coming up this side, which he is, let's bang on a quick depotette for him to be sold on the way back. So we'll let him complete this last bit of route that he's got going on, and then helps if you build the track that you just plumbed out there, Chief. You know, it's a minor detail, but nonetheless important. There we go. Slap you on there. Give it a rotate. Go on, go on. That's it. There we are. Right, good. That's enough for that to get sold. Then we can set about your favourite tool, landmine, Professor Bulldozer, and set that in motion. Now, I think I might need to have a rethink with regard to the placement of this station. Now, I know that's an awful lot of oil I've got waiting there that's going to get... well, it's going to be wasted, but we might as well get it done. Right, oil shuttle. That's egg oil shuttle. Trucks, egg oil shuttle. It's there. Right, go get sold. Off you go. We don't need you no more. Yes, we're taking a slightly brutish approach to everything here. Yep, confirm. We'll be deleting everything we don't need and resetting for this new modern era of great grace and glory. Now, the approach to the approach to the station itself, we'll reorganise that multiple times as we add more routes onto it. But initially, yeah. I mean, I'm bulldozing it. The collision of the terrain should mean nothing to you. Yeah, get rid of it. That's it. Get it gone. Let's get some bit of road here. This is just purely for connectivity purposes. Extra large street. No, keep it going. I swear I will look at this roads mod at some point. I've got it installed and I have to scroll past it an awful lot of the time. I might as well do something with it. Right. But not today. There we go. No, look. Take it easy with this. You're not bringing any trucks up here, so why don't you go for medium rather than large? There you are. Right, and don't overspend. You're just fulfilling the connectivity requirements. See, 131k is expensive. 50k is cheap. There we are. Well, that's not cheap, it's cheaper. There we are. Everybody's happy. We're all happy here. And then, because the likelihood I actually return to any of these areas and revisit them is limited. It'll be something that I intend to do, obviously, but the chances I actually get around to it are pretty slim. So we'll patch up as we go. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah. Oh, naturel. Okie dokes. So we need a station here. It's a good one. This one. I think this will suit the little Alco rather well. Because this is pretty much just a shuttle to and from. Let's go with 160. We only need one station track, and then we'll whiz that around here. 300k is a little more than one might hope. Bit of curve the other way. I'd sooner curve to match the road, but that's okay. Right, have we got that pointing largely in the direction we want? Any extraneous manoeuvring we can avoid is a good thing. Although we may need a little in order to get down this hill. I suspect we'll probably be okay just using a bit of bridge for this, but you know, it pays to give some consideration to it, and that's as much consideration as I'm going to give it. Right, we'll stick a... Now, I don't need this for depot purposes, so let's not do it. I need it for aesthetic purposes. those aesthetic purposes being, I don't want my station set up with a potential drop of death coming off the end of it for my train. There you go. Why are you telling me you can only do 46? That's the stuff. There you go, 120. That's more like it. And then in my Decoratortron here somewhere, I've got buffers, and lots of them. Here we go. There we are. Right, just to stop the sudden cliff drop of doom. And if we work a bit of this, that, a bit of this around the outside, you know, make it look like the landscapers have put some thought into it, maybe. Right, and then make sure that they weren't, you know, suffering from an excess of surrealism that day. That'll be magical. How's that? Looks all right. Maybe just tweak that one down a bit. Tweak that one down a bit. We'll plonk some rocks, maybe a couple of trees, something like that. Right, and then for our next trick, we will. To be honest, I don't need high speed on here. In fact, I also don't need electrification. I do need electrification because at some point we will have electric trains running in and out of here. All right, let's have a look and see what we get as a first option. Now then, I'm gonna go for this one. There's no good reason why I should go for that one over any of the others, but it would seem to make sense to do so. Right, 120 top speed is going to be more than enough. Because if nothing else, it's going to take the train. You know, we've barely got through its acceleration curve by that point, so we'll stick with that. Now let's make a commitment to the right kind of bridge work. That looks pretty spectacular. What's my speed limit there? See, speed's all good. I don't need this expensive red business. Stone, I think, is possibly we're past the stone era now. Okay, yep, that works. Right, now, the only other consideration I've got here is I do need it to be able to talk to these chaps down here. So my depot section, and that's less than straightforward. I've got a nice positive swoop down here. It would be better. Let's have a... No, you see, you've got it at max downward already. Now there's a very good chance that I'll end up changing the platform this goes into later on. What do we got here? GTEL first generation Union Pacific state car, and one of those, and the Lockheed Super Constellation. High times. Excellent. Right. Okay, we'll go with that. Now, before we crack on, let's run out our depot lines here. How are we doing on the ships front? Has everybody now been upcycled, downcycled, recycled, and cycled to work? Almost. Looks like one left. All right. Then we can activate pause. No benefit is being done to us leaving the thing running. Right. Okay. Now, electrification is going to be fairly mandatory for this. At some point, we will have electrification all trains happening up and down here. Let's see if we can squeak this in here. There we are. Perfect. It's nice. And then we'll stick another one alongside that. And then, if we're very lucky, yeah, you see, it's put a little kink in the system. How noticeable is that kink? Barely. No, you can't even see it. That's perfectly acceptable then. Just a little bit of spread happening there. If I lay this in so we get the ballast snap, which is the hottest dance move of the current decade. Yeah, you see, you get a bit more noticeable swervette going on there. If we take that back a bit, stick it back in, but only as far as here. Maybe we can do a more delicate swervette. The alternative is put the depot back in. I don't really want to put the depot back in. I quite like where the depot is now. And actually, that's gruesome. No, I'm not happy with that at all. Okay, right. Have I got enough room to squeak these over a little bit? I think I probably have. Yeah. And it was only cheap. I can afford it. Right. Let's plonk that back in. Because if we're going to do this, you know, let's put the effort in and make it somewhat. Right. There we go. Terrain alignment collision against the other one. But that's dandy. Alright, let's kill the other one. We can put the other one in a second. Right, let's run this rail all the way down here. No, we can't run it all the way down there. This one needs to stop at the entrance. However, we do need the track all the way in. I know I'm wasting money by electrifying it, but it's quicker. Alright, and sometimes quick is what you want. I'm pretty certain that construction is possible. There you are. Right, and then we'll delete from here. So that's now a lovely straight line, and then we're going to delete it all again immediately. Perfect, like I planned it. That's not what we want. That's what we want. There we go. Now, can we go a bit further? Do we think? How much further is a bit further in this scenario? I want it to back onto the road. There's no good reason for me wanting to back it onto the road. I just do. Alright, run this up a little bit further. Actually, this is a good way to do it. We can use that second piece of track as the yardstick. Go on, are we close? A little bit more. Maybe another, I don't know, 16 feet. Come on. Get on there. No, you didn't put the second bit of track in. If you're going to do it properly. There you go. Or at least, you know, something approximating properly. There we are. Terrain alignment collision. Yeah, you've gone too far. Way further than you needed to go. Try that. And it'll do. I could have said perfect, but I don't think you would have believed me. Right, magical. So these three are basically just, or these three routes here are showy rather than practical. I'll even take that bit out so that I can do something along these lines. A Y would be nice here, you know. Can we get a Y out of that? I don't think we can. I don't need all of it taken away. Just a little. Just remove the barest minimums. That is more than the barest minimums, but we can always stick it back in afterwards. Right, how about you? Do you feel about doing this? Do you feel it's impossible no matter what the weather? Try it from there. Go on. What's your problem? I totally believe this construction is possible. See, when we do it the other way, everybody's happy. Like that. Nice. And then run it back the other way. That's not quite a Y. Too much curvature. All right, okay. Well, if we're not going to get a perfect Y, then we'll junction it in a way that uses up some of that space there. Now we do. Why have you gone bendy there, Chief? It's not what we're after. I don't know why I'm referring to all track as Chief at the moment. It just seems to be a thing I'm doing. If we take it from about here and then go as far as there and then go the rest of the way. There you see, that's the ticket. Nice. Alright, splendid. Now, you can't put points over between here and the station. It won't allow it. But if I wanted to, I could do something that would possibly make that work. Right, now then, let's continue this odyssey of track laying. And I realise we're spending a lot of time on this on this depot section, but get used to it, because we're going to be spending quite a lot of time on a lot of sections. Keep going. How much more do you need? That will probably be enough. Right, in which case I need to truck these forwards. Rather like this. Right, let's have a look and see how we get on with that. No, not that one. I want this one. Terrain alignment collisions on the bit at the back there. This bit of road maybe we'll have to... Let's have a look. Yeah, we're going to have to ditch this. It's okay. We'll figure out a way of plumbing that back in. But I did want 2 depots here. Do you know why? Because I do. Right, let's try that. Better. Can I... Will you let me... Oh, you will. It's almost as though the game is sensing what I'm trying to accomplish and is working with me on that. There we are. It's in. Nicely matched up. Everything is everything. Well, that's smashing. Right. Let's now get rid of this so that we can junction that as well. Are you feeling it? You're not feeling it. Okay. Then we will continue to run these. Like so. Now, the majority of this track won't be used, and I watch I watch a fair bit of the old Transport Fever videos, and while I appreciate the level of detailing that goes into quite a lot of the those who like to do some stylistic build, I'm less keen on track that doesn't get used at all. Now, quite happy to use it for decoration, which is pretty much what we're doing here. But I don't like empty track. Empty track is a cardinal sin from where I'm sitting. So we're going to endeavour to make sure that all this track has a purpose, even if it is only just to have stuff parked on it. There you go. I mean, that's big talk from me there, but we'll see how we get on. Right. Let's get some buffers in place. Oh yeah. Go on, that's it. Put that in there. That looks sound. We'll bang another one in here. It would be nice if we could stick one on the station, but it's not going to allow it. How do you feel about turning around and facing the right way there? See, all it needed was me to wiggle it a bit, and it complied beautifully. Okay, right. Well, there's an initial, so we've got something happening here that is what we're after. For my next trick, we also need to hold on. Let's get rid of that. I know I only just put it in, but let's get rid of that, and we'll 2 times it over there, and then we'll make this one a slip. And then we can now interface with all of this lot, and that's solid. Yeah, so I'm going to end up spending a couple $100 on track that is only going to be decorative in nature, but that's okay. And look at this. This is quite a lot of decorative we've got going on here. And in order to round it out, we shall do this last bit as well. In fact, we'll run it that way. That's it. There we go. No half measures, but an awful lot of electrification. Right, let's plumb this road back in. Medium country road. I don't know how well this is going to work, given that we have to go on the end. Well, that's not so bad. I've seen worse. I've seen worse placed by me. Right, and go on, get around there. That's semi-reasonable, I suppose. The only way I can start I know it would be nice for it to be straight, but there is no clip point to any of this kind of station-based approach material. So we're kind of stuck with that as it is. Hang on, let's do it from here. There we go. And then we can do a bit of parallel road that serves some kind of purpose. Exactly what that purpose is very hard to say. Right, now we're going to need to put in the extra track we've got here. I don't know where any of it goes, so why am I doing it? Worry about that later. Just get it working for the moment. Sometimes you need to give yourself a stern talking to, and this is one of those times. Where are we? I don't know. Let's just chuck it on that one, because this is only the depot dispatch track, which that one will work just fine. And then also I want to do this. Oh yeah, colour me bad. Yeah, that's wrong. Good. Go on, you can get across all of those. There you go, there you go. You want it, you're working on it. Okay, now that's made it all the way across. The question is it right all the way? It is. Right, and then we'll... no, wait. Whatever you're doing, stop doing that. We'll make these double slips the entire distance. And that will lead to quite the selection of routes that one could take. And for the ideal, we'll also then run one out from here that does the same thing in reverse. I don't think we can do it now. In fact, I'd be amazed if we could do it at all. But let's give it a spin anyway. Too much curvature, and the construction's not possible. See, construction not possible, I think, is the problem, child. I think it's going to be that bit there. All right, we'll wait till we've got a bit more track laid in, and then we'll see what that does. Let's now get into a practical stage of affairs and get that rolling. Now, let's find that oil train. Is it Thun Oil Operations? I don't know. What's the route you're taking? Well, you were going to a station that is no longer in existence because I've destroyed it. I don't think it is that one. I think it might be I don't know. It's going to be something to do with oil. ECG oil shuttle. Vehicles. Doesn't say it's got any on there, but it's... Why is the ECG oil shuttle... Well, it's not a train. No, it's because I've got no vehicles on there at the moment. Right, just kill that line. All right, we're going to have to hunt the train down and then send it to its retirement. Here we go. Look, it is Thun Oil Operations. It's not carrying anything. Right, go get sold. All right, roll it forward, because then we can remove that line. I don't really want to remove that line. I had a lot of fun laying this in here. It will still, hopefully, have some level of relevance to it. Hopefully, you never know. In fact, I'll probably use that as a secondary line coming in along here for all goods deliveries into Thun. I think there's some sense in there. You're going to take a while, aren't you? All right. Up tempo. I don't have all day. And for that matter, neither do you. Look at it, zip along there. And le sold. There we go. Now, all of this is going to play complete havoc with my profit and loss sheet over the next couple of years. It's going to make it look like I'm doing jolly well with all the ships I've been selling and all of the trains that I'm dispatching of and all of that kind of business. And while that's lovely, I have to be very careful that I'm not relying on this kind of stuff in order to think that I'm staying afloat. I've got to keep a close eye on what's working and what isn't. Now, I've got, I think, the passenger services to carry the balance sheet for the company, but I will need to pay attention on occasion. Right. Now, this is ugly. We know this is ugly. It won't remain that way. That is my commitment to you there, friend. Now then, let's... we ought to give it some kind of... Maybe if we start it with a hub alpha. Yeah, hub alpha oil delivery. That's the stuff. Right, this has now been dedicated hub alpha, which kind of makes sense because it's got the airport attached as well. And there we will go from Thunder Freight, which I shall retitle presently. There you go, Eggy will transfer. Right, let's give you a Thun Freight. No, this is Hub Alpha. I may come up with something a little bit less nuts and bolts with that naming before too long, but that will do for the moment. Right, now I can get that rolling anytime I please, and I please now. Buy trains. Now, we don't need an awful lot of shipping from here because, well, frankly, we're not. It's going to be doing this run so often that getting the balance right to actually fill it out is going to be tricky. Now, I like the Alco HH. It is a cute little beast, but I haven't really played with these Russian, small numbers either, and they look about the same scale, so maybe it's the same deal. And for 1 million, that's a bit of a bargain. I don't need it to pull much. But are we abandoning steam in the process? Light goods and shunting engines. 440 and 100 versus 450 and 265. And there's, okay, sorry, that GWR is not happening. What about you? 600, not so good on the old tractive, though. They were in regular use until the 1950s. 148, it's a little bit quicker. We'll take it. You know what? Yeah, it might not be the most practical, but we'll take it. We haven't abandoned steam just yet. I know. We'll replace it with the Alco at some point in the future. Right, 96 was the speed. All of these little tiddlers here will do just fine. What else have we got here? No, we can use these. These are 500,000 a pop. All right, let's give it a variety. Let's make this a Fina shell combination consist. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. One more. There we go. 72. Now, obviously, that's not hauling anywhere near as much as as its predecessor on this kind of route, but it's got a much faster turnaround. Okay, now that's now in place. So the next thing that we need to do here is we need to get that oil that is coming in from Hub Alpha, or here, as I like to describe it, so we can pick it up from this this terminal. Let's call this Hub Alpha truck shuttle terminal, because that sounds like it's the future. And then we need to run that over the bridge, over to this over here, which is going to be Hub Bravo shuttle terminal. Excellent. Right, now, did I, in my wisdom, build some kind of truck depot? I don't think I did. Anyway, the gas station, which I have referenced as being inappropriate for the age, is now coming into its own. How do you feel about snapping onto there in a fetching kind of a fashion? not so much. What's going on here? That's another kind of truck stop there. We need to plumb this in somewhere. I mean, it can go anywhere on this, on either sides of the power hub. What about that? That looks all right. There we go. Oh, isn't that great? It is great. I'm not. You don't need to tell me your opinion. I already think it's great. Do a bit of that just to keep the smoothitude on the up and up. Right. Okay. So next is make the route. Now this particular shuttle, it doesn't need to be. See, I've said oil delivery. Egg wheel transfer to hub alpha. No, that's fine. No, you can call that. You can call that that. That's fine because you haven't actually set this up yet. So we go from hither to yon, and this is just going to be called the hub shuttle because everything can be transported using this truck route, and it can be done in either direction. This is kind of the fundamental piece of this puzzle, is getting these trucks turned around nice and quick and not clogging each other up on the bridge crossing. So it's you know, this is the exciting bit. Right, freight. So we want something that is agnostic. Another Onion Jack special here with the Volvo F12. This carries absolutely everything. So we'll start out with this, and we'll start out with 4 of them. We will need, I have no doubt, more. Hub shuttle. 1 times hub shuttle deployed. And then we turn our attention over to the other side of the facility. So this is the, hold on, hub shuttle. Give me a colour that makes some sense on this one, would you? No, not so much. Pretty sure it was in there. You're just going to call the route up. Can we? Yeah, we can be bothered. We're doing this for illustrative purposes. Therefore, one must illustrate in a fashion that people can find viewable. It's there. Look. Are you new to the game? Is that your caper? There we are. Oh, you genius! Right. So as mentioned, we run across the bridge, turn it around, come on back. Now, it's not the most direct route I could have plumbed in there. I could possibly stick another bridge that does that, but I don't want to because I like the bridge placement that I've got. The end. Thank you for playing. Right, groovy. So, for my next trick, we're going to do the same thing on this side, taking oil to the oil facility. And we shall do that. We'll go high speed with this. Now, getting out the other side of the passenger main line is going to prove to be an interesting challenge, while at the same time we do need to talk to the depot. Alright, so far I have no real plan as to how this is going to be accomplished. I think I'm going under with this one, but all of these need to be doing the same kind of deal. In fact, I'm not even going to use track 1. I'm going to use track 3 as we count in reverse. All right, can you get under? No. Whatever you're doing, no, stop doing that. Do this, and then do that. All right, it's close. There we go. We're there. Up and... no. How about we take it back to there, still going maximum downdraft. That's it, and about as far as there. In fact, we can even start coming back up again. Shortest tunnel ever made. And then we will continue along here, thus. Hopefully while maintaining a good head of speed. Right, you know what? Let's just go straight under all of that. So if I remove this last segment and then stay flat rather than no, that's, see, you've made life very difficult for yourself here. You're going to go again. Let's waste the money and do it again. Get it right once, and then you don't have to get it right again. Hold everything. This could be an opportunity. Yeah, all right. I like that. If we make it a little bit more gentle. And trying to emerge under a bridge. Clearly, the game is not going to appreciate this as a maneuver. It's going to try and snap to that bridge. I can sense it. I don't want the lump. So don't have the lump. You haven't connected. Yeah, you've just built a bit of track under the bridge there. That's not that clever. For some reason, it's allowing that. I find that a little bit surprising, but I'm not actually going to complain. Again, this is leaving me a bit on the perplexed side. All right, well, let's see what happens if we just accept it then. And I don't need you curving that much. About that much would be good. What's the speed on that? 213. How's that looking? All right, about right. Take it. All right, what have we actually built there? Oh, hey, now that's pleasant. It's not going to work if I try and put a track in parallel, and it's certainly possible that I'll try and do that. But now we're into the big money show. We can get rid of this. Or at least I'm fairly sure we can get rid of this. Get rid of that and this bit. And some of that and a bit of that. Now, this line is not being destroyed in its entirety. That will have a goods shuttle running along it in due course, but not right now. Right now, what I need is you just bash that over there and see what we get. Well, it's done it again. It's allowed it twice in a row. We shouldn't look that gift horse in the mouth as we transit through this gully. All right. Okay. Smashing. Right. Well, let's continue to make hay while the sun shines and whiz all of this up to the station. Now, this particular station is far too short at present. Get rid of that. Yep. Confirm that destruction. Get rid of that. Station. Now, this is only ever going to need to be a terminal. Freight terminal. Number of tracks, I think one will do it. Although we might want to use this to pick up stuff for plastic later on. So let's go with 2. It's going to need to be very, very long. I plan on putting the biggest of big boys on here. To which I hear cheering in the comments already. All right, there we are. We're going to want a little bit of a minor piece of curvature, rather like that, and then we're going to need to reshape that approach we've got there. Okay, right you are. Okay, right. Well, there, yep, all of this and that. Now this is a beefcake of a station, isn't it? But it's going to serve a reasonable amount of traffic. What are you having difficulty aligning there, bub? There you go, you can align that. Does that work for me? I can make it work for me. Then take it. £500,000 worth of station. Worth every my goodness me. The elevation here is significant. Getting under this bridge might prove to be challenging, in which case we might need to remove the bridge and replace it with a and bridge this instead. See, look, we're going over that, going over the top. All right. I just spent money on upgrading all of that lot, you know. This doesn't make me overly happy. Yep, right, so we can do that, but it's doing something weird with the bridge here. That's a level crossing on a bridge. No one in the world would ever approve that as a design. that has got multi-hazard as its middle name. Right, and then do we want to smooth now, or do we want to smooth later, or do we just want to smooth constantly? You know, we're always pleased to do both. Right, where's that down there now? We do want a little bit more, a bit more pace than 120 potentially. How's that? Is that that's a bit better. That's a bit better still, although we've created ourselves a gully at the end. How about we just get down the hill first? All right, let's get down the hill, and then we'll worry about other things after we've done that. There we are. 1 times downhill accomplished. Change the line to make sure we can hit what we want. 200. 200 is way fast enough. That's what we shall take. And then we will we'll whizzle that, connect it all up. Should be good. This central section is now a hump that is nonsensical. So we shall endeavour instead to do this in a straight line. There we go. Slightly below the level of the Earth, and that's absolutely fine. Right, good, excellent. For my next trick, we're gonna stick a train on that as well. So as you can see, the length of this. I mean, if I had any sense about me, I'd do a measurement. So let's do that. Right, that's 1 there. Yeah, okay, that's 1. And so, what do we think this one is? Is that 3? Maybe 4. One of those is about that bit, right? Okay, so then we do another one, which is about that bit. Another one, which is kind of here. I'd say 3 might be about right, because this has to slow down at both ends, and it's got a fairly steep climb in the middle, whereas this gets a nice long run, and I'm going to put the big boy on it. So it's going to be shaking along at quite the lick, to use some uncommon vernacular. We're just going to run this out for the moment. We'll make that temporary. We'll tweak it up when the time comes. Right, okay, so what we have here is, what did I call the other one? I called it Hub Alpha, didn't I? So this is going to be Hub Bravo. Bravo, indeed. And then we're going to need a train. What did I call the last one? I called it Hub Oil Operations. Hub Alpha Oil Delivery. Si, senor. Right. In that case, this one is going to be Harbour Bravo Oil Refining. Hub Bravo Oil Refining. That way, there is a fighting chance that if it doesn't go right, I will be able to identify which line is causing me the tears of woe. Right, okay, let's buy a train. Locomotives, no messing, go straight for the hefty lad. There it is, look. 11.6 million. Now, I'm not going to get to play with these very often. Not at the moment, not until I'm making a serious amount of money. And then wagons, let's look at something hectic in nature. 160, hold on, what was the top speed on the big boy? It was 130, all right, 160's grand. What do we think of these blue ones? 160, yeah. We just said 160 is fine. No, tiddlers, no good. It's going to be either these, tank wagon, tanker tools, I think we'll go with the 1.2 versus... Yeah, we'll go with those. Right, now, the other side of the equation was pulling 72, and we said we want 3 times that, so we would need a minimum of 210 on here. And honestly, I don't think we're even going to break even off 210. So I'm going to take the 250 for the moment, but I need this pulling at least 400. So once I've driven demand up a little bit, I ought to look to expand on that, because the big boy, he's a big boy, and he takes quite a lot of maintenance. He will quite happily swallow your bank account. Right, now, it's so the train's going to head up there. It's going to turn that into fuel. It's going to come back with the fuel, and then it's going to come to here. Hooray, everybody's happy. We're all partying now. And then I want that fuel transporting to the two docks for shipment to cities. And then at those cities, I'm going to need trucks to pick up that fuel and distribute it to the places it wishes to be distributed to. This is the simple one, friends. This is the simple line that we're setting up here, and it's not feeling anything even remotely simple. Right, this is Hub Bravo dock. Let's go dock shuttle. Right, and then its counterpart here is Hub Alpha dock shuttle. Right, so we've got those two fixed up, and then we need to decide where we're shipping it to. Now we could go for Thun and Interlaken, and Brienz I think is too far afield. I'm going to need a more compelling plan for that. And then Locarno and beyond. Yeah, see, the and beyond part of that statement fills me with terror. Now, if we're going to Locarno, I want to send a ship to Locarno, but I also need to run a goods route that heads up into the mountains. Now, will we get all the way to Aquarossa? Maybe. I think Chironico might end up being the end of the line. Well, this is complicated. This is not going to be straightforward at all. We've got an iron ore here that we could possibly bring back in the opposite direction. There's a lot to consider, and I haven't really considered any of it properly, or in fact well. And where is this aforementioned goods line? Where's it going? I mean, I don't think we're going to run another bridge up along here. I think we're going to end up going under, and that's going to be pricey. Let's do a price check on aisle 1 here. All right, if we avoid some of these roads and then just wang it over there. Really? You think you can do that for 1.8 million? You sure you're not just getting some cowboys in to do it? Because that's awful cheap. What if we actually sink it a bit? 2 million, 3 million. Well, okay, well that's less expensive than perhaps I had expected. Anyway, we're not ready for that yet. I want to complete this route so we can put the trains going, because can't put them into service until the demand is affixed. So we shall now do a route from here to there. So this is going to be Hub Bravo, whichever dock shuttle. Isn't that what you called the dock itself, though? It is. All right, no, let's call the dock something else. Hub Bravo. How about just dock? Okay, fine. Yeah. And then the shuttle is the thing that drives to the dock. This makes a bit more sense, doesn't it? I know, this is all superfluous, but it's all entertainment, friends. You should be a smiling Riley at the forthcoming disasters that are forthcoming. Hub Bravo dock shuttle. And we're going to need its counterpart, which is Hub Alpha dock shuttle. Duck shuttle. That's a slightly different thing. Dock. There we are. And that goes from there to here. Splendid. Right. Good. Yep. We're going to want some trucks on those. So if we tow 2 on each, That's not the bit we want. We want this chap here. Again, this is the simple bit. It gets complicated later. Buy road vehicles. If anything was going to make me regret this plan, 1, 2. Right, you lot, you can go on hub thing, ding dong, hub alpha dock shuttle. Right, that was Bravo. You put it onto Bravo. You can say whichever word you like, but make sure you're putting it onto the thing of the words that you're saying there, man. Right, excellent. And then for my final trick, we need 2 more lines set up. But actually, that's not all we need. But we'll start with that Thun Central, which it isn't. We need to give that another name. Going down here to Locarno. All right, this. So this is going to be hub port Bravois. Hub port Alpha. Now, all of this is incredibly likely to cause me problems because getting the balance between the amount of raw materials that are shipped and then and all along the line, right? So the amount of raw materials you've got is you need to relate to the amount that is refined. You need to relate to the amount is then shipped and then delivered to its final destination. THN. Actually, let's do this. Thun hub fuel bulk. Happy. Right, and then this one's going to be Locarno hub fuel bulk. Just like that. Right, we'll buy one of these from here. 1 times Viola, please. I think that's the biggest and the best. Oh, we got an Axe Alp? No, it is the Viola. Right, okay. Purchase. There you go. Set that to Thun Hub. Unable to find path to stop. What? I don't believe you. Maybe I clicked on the wrong thing. Port Bravo, right? Port Bravo, Thun Hub. No. I've done this wrong. No, yeah. No, I'm trying to set it to the wrong line. Okay, you're going to Locarno. Right, okay, there you go. Do that instead. There you are. Just got it the wrong way around. It's because the flipping depot's got, the shipyard's got Thun at the top of it. Through my mind there for a moment. Purchase that. Kill that. Set you on the Thun version. Right, now, theoretically, that's everything I need. Maybe some delivery at the other end, so some truck-based delivery. Let's watch this little tiger coming out of here. Now this is going to cost me a lot to operate until it starts bringing in the bucks, and it's not going to bring in the bucks until I've completed the line a couple of times. There we go, he's rolling. Right, and then out the other side, the eventual star of every show. Ah, see, look, that's a Dakota in the background. Actually, this is the speed that I want it going at. I think I've got something where I can limit the speed that trains go. And that'll be worth the price of admission. Colonel Failure branded oil wagons. Fantastic. Oh no, the Colonel Cam was doing a belter of a job. Look at that. Yeah. Shame the train isn't in shot. Hold on. There we go. Right, then we get onto the main route and we open it up. All right, well, I'm not going to get a better shot than that this episode, so you're going to have to settle for this as our closing account for today. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. In the next episode, we're going to do something else that's complicated. I haven't entirely decided what yet, but it should be tremendous. No. I'm not going to ride on board. I'm going to wait out the other end. Here we go, like this. Something like that. It'll do. Oh, yes it will. That's a Flying Scotsman. And that's the big boy. And that's it. That's the show. Chuck a like at this one if you enjoyed it. I've been Colonel Failure. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on more. I'll be back very soon with the same, and it'll be complicated. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.